Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do my makeup, but then while I'm doing my makeup, instead of doing a get ready with me or a tutorial or anything like that, because I don't have anything to actually show you or teach you or tell you about, I would review and talk about some books that I have read this year. But the reviews won't be long, we'll just be talking about a lot of books. Well, I say a lot. I've read 16. I mean, I'm very behind on my target for this year, but I've read 16, so that's still not bad, right? So yeah, we're gonna get ready together while I review some books. I'm off out this evening for a friend's birthday. I've just tried out a curly girl routine for the first time. Go over to my vlog, I will link it below and put it up here somewhere so you can see what I actually did. But it was very much an experiment to see if I was in fact a curly girl, and I think I am. Anyway, let's get into the makeup and the books. So the first book I read of the year was The Empire of Gold, which was book 3 in the David Bad series, right? And I'll have to review the series as a whole because I can't just review book 3. But the series as a whole, my oh my, one of the best fantasy book series I have ever read in my life. Actually no, it's actually probably like the best. What, like in terms of the writing, the style, the story, the setting, the fact that every book gets better and the story gets better, like stunning. I love the representations, even though it's a fantasy. I feel like a lot of the cultures, languages, clothes, fashion are inspired by real life cultures and stuff that we see today, and I love that. You can kind of see, like, I don't want to say a direct comparison, but you can see where the inspiration has come from. But it's so good if you're after a fantasy series that was gonna grip you. And where are they? Over there somewhere. I don't know if you can see this green book just sticking out right there. They are chunky, like she's not scrimping on the content for you, so love that. Next, the Book of Doors. So I got this gifted to me after the Tandem Wellbeing Weekend in January, and I have to say I really enjoyed the concept. Don't also come for me if you've seen a review of mine somewhere else and the words, what I'm saying is different, my opinion's different, okay? Because, you know, thoughts, feelings and that change. We can change our opinion on books. Yeah, I really enjoyed the whole concept of like different books having different sorts of like powers and things like that. I thought it was cool. I think it was written well enough. There's quite a few different characters. Oh yeah, I actually did, because it had a really cool plot twist at the end that basically bent time and space as we know it, you know, like one of those where you're like, huh? Because the character has to go back in time to go forwards in time, and it was really cool to like think about. I mean, there were definitely plot holes, I'm not gonna lie, but I think with this sort of stuff and you're like messing around with time and things like that, I think that's like normal to just, well, I mean, it's not normal, it shouldn't happen, but I'm easier to forgive it like that. I did notice, I mean, I think I did a proper full review, so you can head over to wherever that is. If it's on the YouTube, I will link it below. But yeah, I did I remember talking about it for quite a while. Sanctuary of the Shadow is next. I will link all of these books below, by the way. I say that now, but admin Priya that's editing this can be like, what on earth? Why did you say that? We are trying out the new V foundation, by the way, guys. It's new to me at the moment, but whenever this video comes out, who knows, it might not be new to you. But I have done a wear test on this already, and I did a vlog from when I went to the roadshow. This is the shade 300, and it's definitely very brown for me, but we'll make it work. Yes, so now this had great scope to be a really cool book, and it really wasn't. This one was also gifted to me by the Tandem Collective after their weekender, and yeah, it flopped. The writing was really bad. The story was very abrupt. There was no I just don't think there's any really character building or time and attention spent on the character. So I DNF'd it. So I like started it off, and then I got a couple chapters in. I think I got to like where the two characters in there and they were kind of building a relationship, and then they escaped, and then they just started having the most passionate kiss. I don't even know if it was having sex, but it was descriptive, and I was like, you've literally just met each other, like calm down, at least give me something. Like, you literally don't even know, you've just met, like calm down, you know? So as soon as that happened, I was like, no, this is not for me. I've got other really good books that I want to read instead. If you want to follow me on Goodreads guides, don't forget, you can. So the Gilded Crown, again, this one wasn't that bad. It was gifted to me by the Tandem Collective, but I didn't read the gifted version. I had read it before I had it gifted because it was the first book I listened to on Spotify. And now I don't know if that altered my reading experience, you know, because some books I feel like you just can't listen to, like you have to like physically read it. And I think this one was alright. I didn't really like the narrator, I think I remember, and the story was interesting, but it didn't get interesting, I don't think, until the end. The romance in it was just forced. Like, I could have really done with the romance. It's like she really wanted to make it alternative and diverse, so she was like, I know, I'll make these two women love each other. But I'm fine with that, you know. I, you know, love a romance between two supposed enemy foes, but there was just, all of a sudden, there were feelings that they couldn't explain. And all of a sudden, they just wanted to kiss each other. Like, come on. Like, don't all of a sudden me. I have come from the era of Cassandra Clare, where she takes 6 books to even let the characters kiss each other. Okay? So, that's the type of, you know, depth and devotion that I need. What do we think to the foundation, guys? I'm very intrigued to be giving it another test. Okay, yeah, so that one, not great. And also I think I kind of felt like the main character was a little bit pathetic. Diva, oh, Diva. This is not normally one of the books that I would like read, but this again was gifted by the Tandem Collective. I did give it 3 stars. I'm trying to be a bit harsher with my reviews now, you know. But this is based on the life of a really famous opera singer, and so I guess it's historical fiction, and it was so cool. I really, obviously I don't know the opera singer, but I love the character of the opera singer that was made. I thought it was really cool. Writing was alright. The story, again, was alright. You don't know how much of it's true and how much of it isn't, because, you know, historical fiction. A lot of it is speculative, but I did really enjoy it. But nothing more to say other than, you know, good book. Gosh, we are getting through these, like that. Okay, so the next one is One of the Good Guys. Now, this one was very interesting. I got it from like a book swap. So it wasn't like gifted or anything, it was just free. It was just free. Do I like that blush? I do like that blush. This is like a feminist fiction murder thingamabob. And it was very cool. It was a very interesting concept. I can't remember. Yeah, I just thought it was cool. Oh, yeah, so a lot of tension was meant to have been built, but I didn't feel the tension. It just didn't work, and I didn't really like the tension that was built, and it kind of fell a little bit flat because it was very obvious what was going to happen. I like the plot twist that kind of resulted in you knowing, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. So there's a murder, and the plot twist basically like solves the murder, is the easiest way I can say it. So I do like how that happened, but it is it's an uncomfortable read, but interesting nonetheless. I'm glad I read it, but yeah, I feel like it could have been a lot better. Like, oh yeah, because it was described as a thriller. That's it, the feminist thriller. And I was like, this, like, it's not thrilling. Like, I don't feel the tension. Like, I'm not scared, or, you know, I don't feel it. So I was a bit like, okay, come on, it's my first dip into the thriller world. This is not giving thriller for me. Hokey Pokey. This one was an ebook. Just lightening the foundation a little bit more, you know, it's just a little bit dark. Yeah, and to be fair, Hokey Pokey, this was historical fiction again, but it was like a crime one. And it was cool, but there's this weird magical realism, fantastical element to it that I didn't quite get. So the whole murder mystery thing, loved it, great. But yeah, there's a whole bit about like some demons or whatever is deemed a demon and stuff that just kind of goes off on a bit of a tangent that I don't really like. And it was a similar thing when I was reading When Women Were Dragons. Like, I liked the whole story, but the whole magical realism, are they really dragons, are they really not, threw me off. So yeah, that one's alright. Okay, about halfway through. The Ballad of Never After. Now this is a Stephanie Garber special. I really enjoy the Caravel books. I can't remember what happens in all of them, but I definitely enjoy them. And I enjoyed all the fates and stuff like that, so I was really excited about this one. It's The Ballad of Never After. I actually read all 3 books, I think, this year. I'm just looking at it. And I have to say the first book is definitely the best one. And I think it definitely could have been a duology, like just 2 really big books instead of 3. Because the last one kind of felt a little bit pointless and nothing really happened in it. Yeah, like I wasn't pacing through it like I was the first one. So yeah, the first one, absolutely great. Love Jax as a character, love all the fates. I love how they're written, it's so cool. The world is great. You know, you can't actually go wrong like with the world building that Garber does. It's really cool. And I liked how she thought about things, and it's like this nice little fairy tale Candyland, but it's not actually. Yeah, I did like it, to be fair. It's quite good. Next is The Story Collector. I read this one on my Kindle as well because I started it. Oh, because I started it in France on my head. So good. So basically, this woman moves into a cottage in Cornwall after something happens to her husband. That's the bit I don't like. There's too much mystery around what happens to her husband, and you think it's going to be something mad and tragic and some big grand reveal, but it's just just falls a bit flat for me. So don't like that bit. But it's like 3 stories that all intertwine together for 3 women, and they're all connected to this cottage and to each other in a way that is really lovely, and I don't know if nuanced is the right word, but in a way that I guess you don't actually expect, and it's slowly built up as you read the book, and things kind of come to light, and it flips between all 3 of them. 2 of them are during the war, and then one of them is like the present day. And yeah, I really liked it. The whole concept is obviously about collecting stories. One of them's an illustrator, the other one runs a bakery, so she's collecting stories that way through the women that she speaks to, and the other one is documenting the stories of prisoners in a prisoners camp in the war. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. The concept was great, and the way that it was written was really nice. We have Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is like her first bout into adult fantasy, I think, like high fantasy, new adult, something like that, one of those genres. And I listened to this one instead because I didn't want to buy it just in case I wasn't going to like it. And I don't know if that was a good idea or not, because I'm a bit meh about it. I definitely think if I'd have bought it, I could have skimmed through it a lot quicker than reading it. And also it didn't occur to me that I could just, you know, fast forward or play it on like double speed. So I didn't. But no, the story was pretty cool, but it was just long. Like in true Cassandra Clare fashion, she describes absolutely everything, and not in the cool way and the nice way that Chakraborty does it in the David series. Like that, I feel like all the description has purpose. Like Cassandra Clare really goes for it, and it's just a little bit unnecessary sometimes. So yeah, I did enjoy the story, I did enjoy the book, but it also just took a little while to get anywhere substantial with the story. So it took me forever to kind of get to the like maybe halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, and then once I was there I zoomed through it, you know, one of those. Okay, and then next is All This Twisted Glory by Tahereh Mafi. I will review obviously the series rather than just that one book. I really enjoy this series for the really cool Persian mythology that it's based off, and I think the characters are really cool, and I think the writing is really nice. Do I think it's an action-packed fantasy book? No. So I don't know why it's marketed like that, because not a lot really happens. You get like one major thing that happens in every single book, and even then I can't remember really what they are. So I would say they are really good books, but they aren't like pow pow pow, something's happening all the time. You have to kind of go with the story and how slow it develops. I mean, who knows, maybe I need to read it again, but that's my thoughts about it. So, you know, I love Mafi's stuff. I started rereading Shatter Me towards like my wedding time when I was just at home. I didn't really want to start anything new and get into something when I knew I'd be here, there, everywhere doing stuff. And I forgot how much I loved it. That's a really good series. And there's a new book coming out for that, or it's set in the same world, one of the ones, which is exciting. I never know what lipstick to wear or how to match their lips to their eyes. I always put my lipstick on first when I don't know what I'm doing, because it just gives me a bit of guidance, you know, just so that I don't go too much. Rightio. Okay, so the next book on the list is the Book of Night by Holly Black. And this is another one that I listened to. So I listened to this one immediately after Cassandra Clare's one, and I liked it. Again, I think this is one of Black's kind of first, no, it's one of her first attempts at going into the adult fantasy world, and I enjoyed it. It was long. I mean, I've seen that book in real life, it's bloody huge. And so it could have been done with not being so long. But I think the concept was good as like a standalone. I really enjoyed the concept of it. I'll tell you what I did with my makeup. I did a little bit of the Vive 92's palette. I went with Low Rise and Weaver. I put that on the crease, and then I blended that out also with my bronzer because it's a bit too grey. And then I got the Charlotte Tilbury Fight and Rose Luxury Palette, and we went with Super Pop, this one, whatever this really lovely is, nice, just that over, and then we put some eyeliner on, and that's it. So right, onto the books again. The Book of Eve. So I DNF'd this. I've actually DNF'd quite a few books. I'm kind of over like trying to give books a chance over and over and over again, you know, like trying to really force it. So I really enjoyed the concept of this, but I couldn't see where it was going. Like, there was just no real direction from the get-go, and I was just a bit like, meh, let's read something else, and then who knows, this might come back up on it. I don't know if TBR is the right word, but it might come back up again, you know, and I think, oh, let's put this back up again. But yeah, it was just a bit meh. I think the final book, Lips Touch by Laini Taylor. Now this is another good one to write home about. So the Smoke and Bone series is the only other thing I've read by her. I know she's got Strange the Dreamer as well, but this is a collection of short stories. I think I just wanted something, well, I say I wanted something, the universe told me, because I just picked this out of my TBR jar, which is that glass jar that you can see over there. Yeah, it was really cool. It's three short stories based off different mythologies from around the world, and just like the rest of her stuff that I've read, really well written, really in depth. Like, I felt like I was reading 3 novels. It was crazy, like the depth and stuff she got into with just short stories. I had a great time, and it was great because I got the satisfaction of reading a novel without having to sit and read a novel, you know. Like, we are finished. Okie dokie, this is it. thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this sort of thing. If you did, let me know and I'll happily just chat more shit while doing my makeup with you guys. So that's a little quick time roundup of all the books I have read this year. Again, 16, going on 17 and 18 because I'm reading Jane Steele at the moment. But yeah, let me know if you like this sort of stuff and I will do more of it. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye! I don't know what's the word. What's the word? What am I trying to tell? It's been a long time since I've talked to a camera like this, and I've also just woke up from a nap, so it could be some time. One big long kind of review, but the